It's the National Football League on EA Sports.
And we'll play host to a battle between conferences. It's the Washington Commanders and the Kansas City Chiefs.
And it's coming up next on Madden Football.
From one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Arrowhead. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here are the Commanders for their first drive of the game. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes it's just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. From the 38 now, here's a 2nd and 7. That one is slant to McLaurin. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football, all right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
And he's going to have a Commander's first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you've got to have your guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage, and that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives him a 1st and 10.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Option play. Here's Robinson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. To throw is Daniels. That is caught. And he's going to have a Commanders first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. And he remains perfect on this opening drive. Charles now 5 of 5 and another first down to work with.
He's like one of those great shooters in basketball that has his rhythm, has his confidence, and he doesn't think anything is going to miss right now. As far as he's concerned, he's going to be perfect the entire game, and who's to say that it won't happen the way he's throwing it right now.
Down right around the 25. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now Daniels. This to McLaurin out on the left side. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
3rd and 5. Throwing now is Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, they're not hiding who their central focus is on offense. Charles, he already now has 4 receptions here on this opening drive.
And I know people who are watching the game are thinking, did they forget about him in the defensive game plan? But it's actually been the opposite. They're giving him a lot of attention, but he's been very creative and savvy in his route running and finding seams and openings in order to create these completions.
And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And he's got it. Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there. On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there. And that sack there, that likely brings out the field goal unit, so they might have to settle for 3 here on their opening drive.
They did some nice things getting things started there, moving the ball downfield, but taking that sack on 3rd down, that lets the air out of the momentum balloon just a little bit.
Matt Gay now gets ready for the field goal try. And this a 39-yard attempt. Gay's kick is good. And it's 3-0 Washington. Well, they didn't get in the end zone, but pretty good balance there on the opening drive between the run and the pass.
Yeah, I think that was probably what they wanted to get accomplished right out of the gate. Throw the ball with success, run it, of course, to set the tone. So who saw the offensive coordinator's play sheet probably wrote himself a little note. Exactly what we wanted to do. Probed it early and got it done.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The KC offense set to go, led as always by the gunslinger, a former MVP in this league. It's Patrick Mahomes.
And simply put, for many, He's the gold standard for quarterbacks in today's NFL because of his ability to create, find the open man, use all the different arm angles that he has. He's a complete package, and boy, his team loves to play around him.
Now here's Mahomes. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes, and this one too low.
That one came up just a little bit short. I'm wondering, is he still a little bit tight as this game starts? What would you say? Maybe he's got to take the governor off of it?
Or maybe the donut off the baseball bat like the guys in the on-deck circle?
I like that. Yeah, just take that little extra weight off of him and start to play freely.
Mahomes going to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage. 17 on the play. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
They'll run for the first time with Kareem Hunt, powering his way forward. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 17 more yards. They had 17 on the previous snap as well. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. To throw, it's Mahomes. That's caught. It's Xavier Worthy. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Now 2nd and 3. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Throwing now is Mahomes. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. On play action, it's Mahomes. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Butker's kick here is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Here's Daniels. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Daniels. And now another one thrown incomplete.
That's well done defensively. They get the pressure they needed on third down. All the receivers are locked up tight, and they force that quarterback to just throw it away.
Here's Tressway now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start the drive here with Pacheco. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
As always, no rooting interest here, but that was pretty, wasn't it? To see him break through and then pick up his stride.
Yeah, the guy carrying the ball loves it. I think the O-line, they might like and take more satisfaction out of those runs than anybody else, though, right?
Without a doubt, because they're the ones that often have created it.
Now Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, 33 yards, and the Chiefs have taken the lead. A pretty well-executed run. They were telling us yesterday, Charles, they were hoping to get everybody in sync, the line, the backs, and everybody looked in sync on that play.
They were in sync, and the field tilted, and that's where we get the term running downhill because when you've got that kind of momentum and everyone's doing it properly as you just described, it does feel like they are coming from downhill to you as a defender, and that is really hard to stop.
Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Commanders preparing for their next possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
From the 34-yard line, here's 2nd down and 3. Daniels looking to throw. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. To the air goes Daniels. And that's complete to McCaffrey. Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Daniels. A quick throw there is incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. On the draw, Robinson. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll take us to the end of the first quarter. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 4th down coming up. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Isaiah Pacheco and the offense back out. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Mahomes now to throw. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Here's 2nd and 8. Short throw here to the tight end Bates.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Daniel's going to throw for it. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. So the defense asked to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. He'll drop this off to Pacheco. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And Kelce's going to have a Chiefs first down as he'll get this to the 44-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7. Here's Mahomes to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40. Ball on the 39. Here's a 2nd and 4. Again, it's Robinson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. To throw is Daniels. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Daniels. Here's a screen for Robinson. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
And Gay knocks this one through. And that'll bring him back within 4. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. And now here comes Kansas City. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Second down and 3. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Got him in, it's Brown. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. They go play fake. Mahomes. He'll get this complete to Worthy. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Now here's Mahomes. To the right side, it's Kelsey. And Kelsey's going to have a Chiefs first down as he'll get this down to the 23. It's a pickup of 6. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Pacheco is into the end zone. Touchdown, Kansas City. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Butker on for the PAT. It's good, and now it's an 11-point lead, 17-6. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. 2nd down and 4. Throwing now is Daniels. Back to Deebo Samuel for consecutive catches. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball, but I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a one-score game if you can, and that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the first down.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Robinson up the middle, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. From just shy of midfield, here's a 2nd and 8. Robinson with another carry. Stiff-armed him. And he's got this down to the 35. They give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington first down. Up the middle with Eckler. And he'll take this down to the 33. This is 2nd and 8. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. That is caught, and he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now we'll pause here for an injury, and it's Deebo Samuel. He's the man in question right now who will need some attention. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Here's Daniels. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's more. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Back to throw again. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Noah Brown, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
As the offense went on the field to start their last drive, you know they discussed in the huddle, hey, if we put one in the end zone here, we've put ourselves in a position to start making a comeback.
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds. That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that'll make it 17-13. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left. Final shot before the half from Mahomes. Got a man over the middle, Worthy. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
We got a strong first half out of the running back, Isaiah Pacheco. He chipped in a couple of touchdown runs as he was running with determination right from the word go.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Chiefs ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. To throw, it's Mahomes. That's into the hands of Worthy. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. Mahomes going to throw. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. And again, it's Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
They brought in the heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play. But we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, They snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. That one caught by Rice. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. Down at the 25.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 6. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Throwing now is Mahomes. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Mahomes now to throw. This will be caught once again by Brown. And the Chiefs are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call. That false start costly. Moves him back to the 9 now, 1st and goal. Now Mahomes. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. They run it with Pacheco from the gun. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
Here's Mahomes, 3rd and goal. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete. Strong coverage by Washington, and now 4th down. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Butker's kick here is good, and that'll make this a 7-point game. So put 3 on the board, but from that far into enemy territory, probably hoping for more.
Yeah, I think they're going to get together on the sideline and talk about it, right? Because you get that far, that deep, you want to come away with a touchdown. They'll take the 3, but they're going to file it away for the future.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. And they have had problems getting the running game in gear as we look through some of their attempts from earlier. They have just not been able to match the physicality that this defense has shown, and their lack of success on the ground is a direct reflection of that. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same, because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Now Daniels. This to McLaurin out on the left side. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And 3rd and 1 now. And Robinson will not get there. Great defense at the point of attack, going to stop him short of the first. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes headed back onto the field. And it's been a rough night at the office for him. He's been more of a liability than an asset throughout the contest. And this offense is having a hard time overcoming his struggles to this point. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive. And he's going to profess that he was happy to get points.
But
and we know
wasn't?
that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. After this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. This will be caught by Brown. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. Javon Kinlaw, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Complete, the tight end Kelsey. So the completion good for 6 yards. And 3rd and 8 now.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Now here's Mahomes. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. The visitors' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach Can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, they give to Robinson. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. They go play action. Daniels. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
Off the play fake, Daniels. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's Washington with the football, but trailing here as we begin quarter number 4. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Past the 20. And he takes it in for a Commanders touchdown. Terry McLaurin, 44 yards. And the Commanders are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Gay is on for the point after. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Chiefs offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up 2nd down. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. The Chiefs on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll drop to throw. Oh, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
To throw is Daniels. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington 1st down.
And that's another big-time run, and it sure looks like the leverage game is being won by the offensive line. They're the low man on just about every snap, and they're winning, pushing back the defensive front and creating great space for their runners.
Daniels looking to throw. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. Working out of the gun, Daniels. He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Back to the ground with Robinson. And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. It's a 1st down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To the air goes Daniels. Open man is Samuel, complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Robinson, he'll try the left side. And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr., 30 yards. And the Commanders have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. That run going to put him over 100 yards now for the ball game as well.
Yeah, he's really had his way so far, and that's just more of the same right here. All he needs, just a little crease, and off he goes.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. This offense headed back out, captained, of course, by their quarterback. And you get a look at the numbers, they don't even tell the whole story. This has been a tremendous performance to this point. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
The way the game has changed a little bit is that defensive goals have changed in a big way. Nowadays, it's not so much stopping certain yardage or whatever, but it's not giving up big, explosive plays. Anything over 10 yards, you're trying to hold teams below that. When they get one against you, as we just saw there, boy, that really hurts them. It puts them back on their heels a little bit and makes them a little bit less confident.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Open man is the tight end, Noah Gray. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 3rd and 1. Mahomes going to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1. Pretty good location there on that throw.
It really was, wasn't it? That was likely one where the receiver was either going to catch it or no one. Really good decision. And, boy, what a catch and move right there.
And a tough spot to get it over the middle. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Able to find Gray here. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Mahomes to throw once more.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Washington on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Mahomes now to throw. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the 4th quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Mahomes hitting his favorite target, Travis Kelce, on the touchdown pass. And the Chiefs' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Butker now to add the extra point. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it culminates in a Travis Kelce touchdown. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. This offense and their running back headed back onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. That's good for 28 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 47. On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. Here's Daniels. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Throwing now is Daniels. He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Deebo Samuel, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Commanders answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the fourth. So, Charles, this game feels like it has been punch, counter punch all throughout, and that touchdown breaks our tie here in the fourth quarter.
You're making me want to get back in the gym and start training again. You talk about those punches and counter punches. I also think this is where you and I start thinking to ourselves, who's going to make the play to change that, right? Who's going to get out of this little cycle that they're in right now?
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
Extra point by Gay is up and good, and they will take a 7-point lead. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The home team's offense and their running back Isaiah Pacheco getting set for this next possession. And as we take a look at some of the highlights, we see just how impactful he's been. He and his quarterback have such a great chemistry together, and it's been on full display throughout the contest. Here's 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Now Mahomes. Finding Kelsey. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Mahomes. Man open left side is Brown. And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
Mahomes. This will be caught once again by Brown. The Chiefs now going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Mahomes. Throw left side complete. That's Rice. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Mahomes. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Javon Kinlaw in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Brandon, you got to have some urgency here. You got to get the guys back to the line of scrimmage, but the problem is they're all 30 yards downfield after that play.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Now Mahomes got to have this one. Going for it all. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. The Washington offense back out there. They have the lead, still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now, just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know, they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. Washington about to close this one out as they are down to a knee.
Partner, they took a knee to finish this one off. To me, that's the only thing they lost in the fourth quarter. How about that comeback?
Yeah, trailed coming into the last frame. Got it done, taking the knee. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Kansas City, so long, everybody.